YouTube, what the Total War Rome 2 crap is going on? I hope you're ready for another good replay. This one was sent in by Yawning Firefly here. Looks like he's in the Wolf Clan. This must be one of Blade Master's peeps. And then also we got another Wolf Clan member here, Celcitus, or however that's pronounced. Probably got it wrong. But it looks like they're on opposite teams, which is kind of cool. They put each other over there, and I don't know if these are randoms or just friends that are playing with them. So we got Syracuse and Galatia with Tylis and Arverni. Now I would hand the edge to Tylis and Arverni just because Syracuse. I have been assured that this is going to be a very interesting replay, so I am excited to see it. I hope you all enjoy it too. Let's see what the army is here for Syracuse. 5 Thorax Hoplites, 3 Sam Knights, 2 Thurios, got the Balearics, 2 Italian Cav, 2 Citizen, 1 Tarentine, and a Skirmisher. Looks like Tylis is the 4 raiding horsemen. That's a lot of Oathsworn. I see 3 Oathsworn, and it looks like 5 Tribals. Several levy frees. Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be a nasty Tylis army to take down. So let's see what the Galatian brought with them. It's like 5 Galatian legionaries in this line, 4 Galatian swords. So I like the core of that army. And I see some levy free. So 4 levy free, 2 mercenary Cappadocians, and a noble horse. A pretty strong horse contingent here for Galatia because there's also 2 Galatian raiders on each flank. So a lot of horsemen for Galatia, and that's just going to make this side a little bit weaker still because you're likely to have lots of awesome swordsmen over here, and we do. So we saw Tylis' army, so let's move on to Arverni. Oathsworn General. This backline is most likely all chosen swordsmen. It is. There's 6 of them. 4 Celtic warriors up front, another Oathsworn on this flank, so 2 Oathsworn, 6 chosens. I mean, that is 12 very useful sword infantry. I see a levy free on each flank, and there's going to be 2 heavy horse on each flank. And yeah, this army from the Arverni is going to give fits to these guys as well. So very powerful barbarian team here between these factions. So very powerful. Lots of skirmishing capability here though for the Galatians and the Tarentines. Now the Tarentines have armor. They're not going to win out in a melee fight versus the raiding horsemen, so they'll want to stay away from that, but their armor can help them tank a little bit of damage. They are medium, though, which means that the raiding horsemen will be faster. In impact damage, the Tarentines would be a little better as well. They might want to watch out. They're getting a little close to those levy free. It looks like both teams moving up. It looks like they could potentially face off 1-to-1 here. Honestly, I think what they probably should have done is maybe pushed a lot on the Syracusan because their infantry line is going to be weaker than the Galatian, and just put like a holding force here, maybe taken all the Celtic warriors and push them like this while the Arverni attacks head on, and then you just basically leave your tribals and other stuff to hold back the Galatians, which they probably could. That's the strategy I would take. Of course, I don't win every battle, so we'll see how it goes. We got the Galatians and the Tarentines working together. That's kind of a cool combination of units here. The Gauls working side by side with the Greeks. Let's see what Tylis is up to. Got a mix of shirted and shirtless levy freemen. Getting a jab volley off here, taking out 10 of these Galatian raiders, so not bad at all for the levy freemen. They got 7 kills, so who else got the kills? Must have been these guys. No? Huh. I don't know how that math works out, but apparently it works out. So, oh, maybe it's the slingers? No. Jeez, well, someone killed some of those extra cavalry, and it wasn't the levy freemen. They must have spontaneously combusted or something. That's about the only thing I can think of. So the Balearic slingers do have a great position here in the woods. These guys are going to be held completely still because of the Balearics. Skirmishing advantage. Balearics are going to be able to dish out some serious damage. Going to be very dangerous to any units that get left in the late game without cavalry support. I mean, there's pretty strong cav contingent, like I said, so 2 mercenary Cappadocians and a noble horse are going to go a long ways, especially if they have support from levy freemen. So lots of skirmishing taking place right now. No one wants to commit to an open battle. I think that these Galatian raiders would win in a melee fight against the raiding horsemen, and they're winning here because they're 2-on-1 javelins. They ought to just take this melee engagement. There's not close enough support from the Arverni player, Well, yeah, there is, because there's heavy horse here, so never mind. Yeah, probably steer clear of the melee engagement. So you don't want to overcommit early. That could be bad. So Arverni gonna commit an Oathsworn out here, and another levy free. So this flank is gonna be overwhelmed. But I mean, if these players are patient and kind of slowly gain some cav supremacy, oh, this is good. Yeah, that's good. That's what the Galatian Raiders wanted to do right there. And they're going to get the same thing right here. Let's see if they can take care of it before the heavy horse come to intercept. This is a great move by the Galatian player right here. Yeah, he's going to wipe out the enemy raiding horsemen, and that's going to leave them potentially able to skirmish with the heavy horse. I like this move a lot, because the raiding horsemen are getting crapped on by the Galatian Raiders. Raiding horsemen are not bad, but they're not as good as the Galatian Raiders. Galatian Raiders are some fine skirmish cavalry. Light skirmish cav. I mean, obviously I'd take Numidian nobles if I just had to pick any skirmish cav. Now these heavy horse are going to have a hard time pushing the edge as long as the Jav Cav's here, and this Levy Free gets ahead of itself. Does get a Javelin volley on the Cappadocians, but it's going to get destroyed. There's another Levy Freeman though, so these Cappadocian Cav are overcommitted. They're going to make it away with only 9 losses, which is lucky for them, but this Galatian Sword can wreck these guys. There is an Oathsworn around. More cavalry moving in on this flank though, so if they can get this Oathsworn isolated enough, that would be good, but now you've got a heavy push from Tylis right here in the center. So let's see what happens. Cavalry free to harass over here though. Heavy horse overcommitting over here as well, and they're going to take some javelins. And they're going to be potentially stopped by a citizen cav. Yes, they are. So that's a bad engagement for the heavy horse. These Galatian swords though are now in a poor engagement, though if they kill 2 units of Levy Freemen, they will pay for themselves. And it's going to allow this Galatian Legionary to potentially get in here without being charged, but there's a lot of vicious Tylis troops waiting to come in here. Okay, the heavy horse can now be harassed by these Galatian. Let's see whether or not having to micro on 2 flanks can be pretty intense here. Galatian Legionaries ought to do alright in a prolonged melee fight with this Oathsworn that did not get a charge, especially since their health will have been chipped away some. The heavy horse, though, allowing them to do this is going to be very, very bad. Oh yeah, this is bad news. That is bad news for the Galatian. Yeah, Cappadocians inbound, which is good. Lots of javelins all over the heavy horse. I mean, that's good, but that's going to have done quite a bit of damage. Let's see. Oathsworn taking on a Thorax Hoplite. That's going to be a short fight, but Galatian Legionaries coming in, again, just blocking the charge of the Oathsworn is going to help, but so many Tylis troops here. Honestly, don't know how this is going to turn out. I mean, this is good, though, here. Skirmishing down the heavy horse with what javelins are left, tiring them out, pulling them away from the battlefield. Great move here. Oathsworn interrupted with a cheap Italian cavalry. Great job. They ought to pull through now and then just go ahead and follow up with the charge of the Thorax Hoplites. Thorax Hoplites still going to lose. Mercenary Samnites need to run. Oh, run, Samnites, run. Nope. These guys are going to get pulverized by Celtic warriors. Samnites are tanky, but they're not going to like that charge and all the javelins. We'll see how that turns out. Lots of units committed here that don't need to be here. Get the cavalry out of this fight. But looking pretty good over here. Levy Free are going to be able to push here. And the cavalry supremacy on this flank has been cleared by the Syracuse Galatia team. Nice use of the Italian cavalry there. Chosen swords do get their volley, but they're going to get interrupted. So Italian cavalry making itself very worth it at this point. Thorax Hoplite's still just getting destroyed. Levy Free or Thurio Spears throwing at the Oathsworn here. That's actually a nice move. It'd be better if they would have gotten clean to the flank since there's no cavalry. Nice job here getting the Mercenary Samnites into the Chosens without being charged. They will actually do pretty well there now. Oathsworn General definitely damaged, but the Tylis Oathsworn General now thrown in here. More Oathsworn from Tylis. Tylis has an inordinate amount of Oathsworn. Very nice rear charge from the Galatian Raiders here. That's going to hurt the Arverni General. Getting the Arverni General off the field early could prove magical. These Galatian Legionaries are doing very, very good against that Oathsworn where they didn't get charged, so a nice job there. Mercenary Samnite Warriors here are getting crushed by 2 Celtic Warriors. They've gotten a decent number of kills, but that is a definitely a bad engagement. Let's see over here. The Chosen Swords are getting beaten by the Sam Knights, but it's now 2-on-1, so that's not going to go well. However, this Oathsworn getting jacked up by... and this is a nice move here, too. Just go into square, your guys will last a long time, and then this unit can finish discharging javelins into the Oathsworn. So this is a poor engagement for the Oathsworn, because those Thurio Spears are not a prime target for the Oathsworn. Nice interception of this Oathsworn with cavalry, rear charge by Levy Freeman. That's going to do some damage. It won't be massive, but it's going to be worth it. The Arverni General down quite a bit. There's a Noble Horse General here, and between the Cappadocian and the Noble Horse, they could ping-pong a lot of damage onto these Oathsworn here. Citizen Cavalry interrupting Tribal Warriors. We have a mainline engagement where it looks like these Balearic those are just Javelin Men. I thought the Balearic Slingers may have been caught. That would have been bad. Balearic Slingers still very much alive. Probably lots of ammo left here, so they're going to be a potent late-game resource. Tribal Warriors going to get their Javelins off into the face of the Italian Cav, but the Italian Cav going to put a little charge on them. It's now overwhelming Chosen Swordsmen being thrown in here. And this Thurio Spear had been thrown in to help hold. More cavalry. Let's just kind of see what's going on all around. Looks like we had a charge from the Noble Horse, 4 kills. And this Cappadocian Cav is working on some kills too. But, I mean, the infantry of the Arverni and Tylis is just dominating this fight at the moment. This is going to be a game-changing factor here. So many Mercenary Balearic Slingers. These guys need to go into square. It'll present a better target for the Balearic Slingers. Sam Knights tanked out 1 Chosen Swordsman here, and the morale of these Chosen Swordsmen is not ideal. Thorax Hoplite here finishing off a couple of Celtic Warriors. It's going to hold for a pretty good while. And there's another Thorax Hoplite to support. So the Balearic Slingers tore into these swordsmen pretty nicely there. Still some Galatian Legionaries being held in reserve. Good job holding reserves. They're going to need it. Right here, it looks like a couple of Chosens got teamed up on by a Thorax and a Galatian Legionary. So a nice combination of troops. Tribal Warriors here losing to Galatian Legionaries. And the Arverni Oathsworn is going to get mobbed here. And the Tylis General has removed himself too far from support. That's not a good position to be in. And so the Arverni General paid with his life because of that. But another Oathsworn trying to come in, but it looks like the Tarentine Cav is going to intercept them. So nice use of the Tarentine Cav here just to keep that Oathsworn away while the cavalry retreat. And again, the Balearic Slingers, I think, are going to end up being a major factor. They already have, because they've pushed off, they've helped push off 3 Chosen Swords. They have the capability to destroy this Heavy Horse, too, if they'll concentrate their fire. And they need to. But because of the charge from that Heavy Horse, well, no, the Heavy Horse is going to rout now, too. The Arverni General's dead, so that's gonna really help knock off the rest of the Arverni troops. You can see the Chosen... Oh, no. Not the Balearic Slingers. Oh, no. This is a disaster for Syracuse. He has got to kill those guys. He needs to split up out of here. Oh, those Heavy Horse. They're going to pay dividends for the other team if they kill these Balearic Slingers. That's almost enough to make you cry. I'll try not to, though. So the enemy the friendly Noble Horse needs to go get rid of these Celtic Slingers. They're not going to do a ton of damage to him, but you don't want to just let them sit there and keep firing. Oh, the Balearic Slingers. Oh, hurry, get the spears, save the Slingers. These Heavy Horse, they are doing a considerable amount of damage, but it looks like because of the General's death, and the fact that they're now losing due to numbers, okay, they rout, and there's still some Balearics. Oh no, here comes another Heavy Horse. Oh, these Balearic Slingers, if they would have been protected by those Levy Freemen, that's so much more ammo that could have been used against the Arverni and Tylis. These 2 units might very well get taken off the battlefield. And then any ammo that their fallen comrades died with is gone. This unit is broken. Hopefully it does not shatter. Let's see. So, Thorax Hoplite General still alive, but taking a beating. They've gotten rid of some Tribal Warriors. There's still a few Chosens around. A Celtic Slinger here making its presence felt. And the General is now in trouble because these Raiding Horsemen still have Javelins. I wouldn't have thought they would have had Javelins this late in the game, but they do. And they can be deadly. Okay, so looks like we have 2 Balearic Slingers alive and another one that's going to return to the battlefield. But again, that's lost ammo, so we'll see how that goes. These Thuriel Spears can now chase off Slingers, and the Noble Horse General is going to get these Slingers. If these Raiding Horsemen still have Javelins, that's a big problem. Looks like they might. In fact, I think they do. Oh yeah, they do. This Noble Horse General is going to be getting wrecked. So Raiding Horsemen, this is why they're good. Javcav and Rome 2 cannot be understated as far as its usefulness. Very nice shape for this Mercenary Samnite, but let's see what it's up against. Tribal Warriors and 2 Oathsworn. But with the help of these Balearics, this is actually going to be looking quite possible for the Syracuse and Galatian alliance here. But there's still cavalry on the field. So the cavalry was thrown away, the Cappadocians, and the others are now gone. So the Balearic Slingers may not be able to stay protected. They pushed out the Oathsworn General and fed him some losses, which is very good. This Oathsworn now is going to eat some losses while retreating too. Balearic Slingers in the woods. Oh yeah, they're going to work that Oathsworn over. Nice shots there from the Balearic Slingers. Let's see, this Tribal Warrior surrounded and now routes, but these Celtic Slingers now are gonna fire. But if these guys can get into the forest and protect these Balearics, start running these Balearics back here immediately before the enemy cavalry realizes what a target they have. I mean, this cavalry needs to try and get over here and get these Balearic Slingers. But yeah, these guys do have the advantage of having cover in the woods. Celtic Slingers will not do near the damage that Balearics will, but I mean, any Slinger can do a lot of damage in late game. Depends on how much ammo these guys have left, which is impossible to tell on Rome 2. So let's see, the Syracusan General's still alive, the Galatian General's gone. We've got 1 Legionary at half strength, 1 Levy Freeman at full strength. Curious to know whether or not it would have javelins. They do not want to skirmish with the Balearic Slingers, but I don't know that their Celtic Slingers are going to have the potential to really do too much damage to a Samnite warrior in the woods. And the Balearic Slingers, the last thing they should fire at is the Celtic Slingers. Forget that. Save all your ammo for the Oathsworn. And these Balearic Slingers are going to get back into the fight. So there's still 9 minutes of replay. Let's fast forward, see what's going to happen. Tylis is going to pull over here. They don't want to go up against this team in the woods, nor should they. It's going to slow down their cavalry charges. It's going to slow down the charges of their infantry. It's the last place they want to be. These Celtic Slingers are going to make themselves a big-time nuisance here, firing into the flank. They only have 37 kills, and this one has 45. Oh no, don't spend your ammo on these guys. Oh, they're so not worth it. They're not even going to get that many kills. Look at that, a whole volley, and they get 1 kill. Yeah, don't waste your ammo. Keep your Balearics clear of those guys. Forget that. Save the ammo for the Oathsworn. Let's see what happens here. So, I mean, again, the infantry advantage is still sitting with the barbarians. They better be very careful with their Balearic Slingers here. They've already lost a fair few of them. They need these Levy Freemen here immediately. And they did not get there soon enough, so Balearics will die to the Raiding Horsemen, but this Raiding Horseman is also going to die. But I mean, losing Balearic Slingers, yep, shattered. So whatever ammo those guys had is now off the battlefield. So possibly a worthwhile sacrifice there. These guys still have javelins? Holy crap, how many javelins do these guys have? So Celtic Slingers being chased off here. The Balearics definitely need to pick up an Oathsworn target, preferably the Tylis General. But they're going to have to be careful because there's still 3 units of Celtic Slingers sitting around. That's going to be a big-time nuisance. With all that cavalry advantage they had, I would have hoped to have seen the Celtic Slingers removed from the battlefield, but then these Raiding Horsemen got left alone, and here they are in late game making a big difference. There's a unit back here with 56 men. And it's being saved. Tribal Warrior being run in. It's going to absorb the brunt of all this, and then they're going to try and come in here. Again, the Slingers can't get left alone. This Raiding Horseman is going to be around. You might want to keep this Thorax Hoplite. Yeah, Slingers here need to do their best to wear out the Oathsworn. This blob of infantry really isn't going to favor Galatia Syracuse here. See, mercenary Sam Knight's in though. I mean, they should be able to kill the tribal warrior fairly quick. And if they can keep the raiding horsemen away while these Balearic slingers work on some of the infantry, I mean, not a bad target since you have a close shot at the tribal warriors, but I'd still rather see them firing on the general, because killing the Tylis general would go a long ways to getting these other units off the field, and taking fire from these Celtic slingers on the Balearics is the last thing that they need right now, because they are about to shatter. See, now they're going to run away from this engagement, so probably smart. Slingers need to get out of there. I don't know if the Oathsworn have a jab volley left. Look at this, the Thorax Hoplites catching Celtic slingers, but another one's sitting back and firing, so they're going to get rid of them. I don't know how much ammo these Celtic slingers have left, but this could be a big problem. One Balearic slinger getting run over, maybe it was out of ammo. If the Mercenary Sam Knights can take this engagement without being charged, it's going to be good. It's going to be very good for them. No, I think they did get charged still by the Oathsworn. Wasn't a particularly good charge, but they got charged. This Levy Freeman shattered with 72 men. Now, these slingers do have ammo, and they're going to hit this Oathsworn in the back. So this is going to be bad for Tylis. They lose their general here, it's going to be very bad. But this Oathsworn is just whipping the Sam Knight warriors because of the... But if the general dies here, this battle's going to get very... Oh, it's over. Yep, raiding horsemen got their target. So, goodbye, slingers. It was nice knowing you. And that means that the Oathsworn general is going to beast out this fight. It is looking particularly ugly for Syracuse. But, a couple Thorax Hoplites. Quite possibly still have ammo on those slingers. I don't see daggers out yet. All these slingers... These ones have daggers out, so they're out of ammo. These ones still have a little ammo. Let's see what's happened. The Sam Knight warriors definitely got destroyed. Still have javelins on the raiding horse. Now, saving these to late game, whether it was on purpose or not, is just going to prove devastating. Definitely smart for the Thorax Hoplites to get into the woods. Try to reduce the effectiveness of the charge of the Oathsworn. The Oathsworn are trying to run away. They just got an order for second wind. That was a mistake. They should have just charged in. So the Oathsworn are going to take a lot of unnecessary losses to this Thorax Hoplite, and that's going to prove devastating for Tylis, especially if the general gets killed, which he very well could now. Raiding horsemen are just going to be thrown in. They're not going to do very well versus Thorax Hoplites, and if the Syracusan general can get in here right now while nothing can charge him, it's going to be a very favorable engagement for Syracuse. The armor-piercing spear of the Thorax Hoplites can prove useful against the Oathsworn here. Oathsworn, though, have a lot of kills. 281 kills. This is going to be very, very close. Fire incoming here. Let's see if the general's dead. No sign of a dead general yet. Thorax Hoplite starting to waver, though, due to being shot in the rear. And they are most likely going to leave the battlefield in defeat. Everything being thrown in by Tylis here, and this is a risky proposition for Tylis, doing this because you're not, well, they're starting to waver a little now. This is going to be very, very close. Very, very close. Let's see what all's wavering. Thorax Hoplites. Ooh, the Tylis general. He's still alive. One Thorax Hoplite left. He's got 167 kills. The Tylis general is off the field. The general died, so now, oh, the morale is just going to be terrible for Tylis at this point. It looks like the Thorax Hoplites are going to have this one, unless that slinger has enough ammo to take them out from range. The raiding horsemen have pulled away and survived. If Tylis loses both these units, it's not gonna be good, but the raiding horseman is trying to get around for a rear charge. There's no ammo left on the Celtic slingers. Nice little side charge there by the raiding horsemen. They need to get out of combat, though. He's going to try and rear charge with the slingers to see if he can take care of business. Let's see what happens. Let's get in here close and watch. Hoplites are going to do extraordinarily well versus the raiding horsemen. I don't think a rear charge from slingers is going to make a massive difference other than the morale penalty. And I would think the Thorax Hoplites are going to have better morale than the slingers and the raiding horsemen. This is a very, very close fight. Raiding horsemen are either retreating or routing probably retreating. Oh, the raiding horsemen are going to come around for another charge. The slingers routed, though. Ooh, red morale, 26. Let's see what happens. Here comes the charge. Thorax Hoplites wavering. I thought for sure those Thorax Hoplites had this. By pulling these guys out and charging again, may win the battle. They need to pull out and charge again, but they should have done it sooner, because now pulling out, they'll take some losses. Needs to come out a Hoplite Phalanx here, because the Hoplite Phalanx actually slows down your attack, it seems like, and can derp out a little. Ooh, he needs to turn around and brace. Yeah, just kind of stay right here in this forest. Let's see what happens. We've got just a few Thorax Hoplites against raiding horsemen. The Thorax Hoplites seem to be in good cheer. And the general is alive. This is him right here in the center of the unit. So that's very, very good for the Syracusans. Let's see what's going to happen. This battle's about to end because there's only 40 seconds left in the replay. Raiding horsemen probably ought to move around a little bit. See if they can get the Thorax Hoplite unbraced. That's going to be their best chance. Here it comes. Final charge. Who's going to win? Raiding horsemen delivering impact damage. Thorax Hoplites delivering their attacks now. Very, very close. Very close. Thorax Hoplite wavering due to the charge. 17 men. 15 men. Oh, if that general dies, that's going to be it. Oh my gosh, the raiding horsemen pulled it off. I wouldn't have thought that, so very, very close victory. That was crazy. Crazy, crazy. Good job, though, using Syracuse in what would have otherwise been a pretty overwhelming fight. So I think a commendable performance here, getting over 100 kills on each Samnite warrior. And these Thorax Hoplites did extremely well, considering what they were up against. If these Balearic Slingers would have been protected by those Levy Freemen that the Galatian player had, this game would have easily fallen in favor of the Syracuse Galatia team. So that was a critical mistake in the battle, because those Balearics were a substantial portion of the killing power. They still had ammo, and you can see here that they died before they were able to make the critical kills, like on the enemy general, who ended up tanking out 300 kills. So definitely a mistake there. Let's see what the Galatian managed to do here. Not bad kills on most of these Galatian legionaries. Again, I saw lots of good use out of them in preventing charges. Galatian raiders did a little bit. Probably would have liked to seen a little bit more from his cavalry here. And let's go on and look at the Arverni. These cavalry got all those skirmisher kills right before they died, which ended up being very good for them. Now the Chosen Swordsman line pretty much got crapped on. The Oathsworn, though, both doing okay-ish. So that was an interesting battle. Really appreciate that being sent in. Hope you all enjoyed it. I know I did. I will be back with more Rome 2 online action soon. HeirofCarthage signing out.